Hey everyone, it's me, Donna. In this video, I want to discuss and ask the question to companies like to Ancestry.com and even 23andMe as to why you're not testing more people and using them as a reference panel as far as DNA goes in countries like Greenland and northern parts and the majority of Siberia, and then also, as you can see on Ancestry.com's map, even right here in the middle part of Africa, they're not using people from that region to test people against. And I actually have, especially like on 23andMe and whatever, and on GEDmatch, on some of the models in GEDmatch, I have African, and most of it's coming from the Congolese area, the sub-Saharan, areas, but yet they're not testing, or they're not using people from those regions to test people like me from. So that might be why my African is not showing up on Ancestry. Okay, and then also they're not using people from Greenland and the northern Siberian or whatever. So it's bad enough. I mean, my results are really crappy as it is, and that even though they're using people from, Portugal and Spain and all that, and in other tests, my Spanish is showing up, but it's not showing up on Ancestry. My Native American is showing up on GEDmatch, but it's not showing up here. But supposedly they've got plenty of people from these regions to test against, which is, I don't know. I just think they must not be testing enough people, because I'm fixing to show you something, which I've already briefly mentioned my kinship to the Inuk man from Greenland. He was an Inuit. He was found like 4,000 years ago, or he's from 4,000 years ago, and they found his remains. He is showing up as kin to me, okay? Just like there's Native American remains that are kin to me, okay? And also Siberian remains that are kin to me. And even the remains like 20-something to 50,000 years ago, okay? I'm showing up kin to these remains coming from Siberia. So I don't understand it. Like, what is the issue? What is the real problem? And why is there some kind of law or something to where they're not allowed to go in these regions and get people to test? Because, funny to me, they can go to all these other countries and test all these people, but yet, why are they leaving Greenland and most of Siberia out? Even on 23andMe, they're only testing like the, was it UCAT people or whatever from Siberia to test you against? What's up with that? Get more people. I mean, really, what's the problem? I mean, they've got the money. They've got, whatever means that you can use, because my goodness, they've tested all these other people. Why not invest in testing these people, because there's things that I would really like to know, which I kind of wonder even then if it would show up anything, because, my results on Ancestry are pretty crappy, okay? But anyway, let me go into what I'm talking about, okay? All right, as many of you may or may not know, all right, on GEDmatch, let me go right here. All right, there is a link over here called the Archaic DNA Matches. Okay, you can go to this link and you can fill in your kit number, and I'm using this kit number, which actually comes from Ancestry.com. That is my kit. Okay, this same kit or the same information that causes Ancestry to report such crappy results and not tell me about my Native American or anything else except for the British, Irish, Norway, and whatever. Okay, this same processed DNA, I can put it in, in these different things on GEDmatch and find all this other stuff. Okay, that same kit, when I click on this archaic thing, this is what I get. It's showing me as kin to all these people, like from Siberia and from Greenland and from America, Native American, all this stuff, Hungary, Russia. I mean, you name it. You know, I'm kin to all these people, okay? All these remains and everything. All right? And for instance, let's start off with this first person, okay? This is one of the, this is Inuk, and that's what he was named by scientists, the Inuit from Greenland, okay? I have a whole bunch of this man's DNA in my DNA. That's what leads me to believe, and again, I'm no scientist, but that's what causes me to believe that he might be like my 100th great-grandfather or something like that, or maybe his parents were. Because all his DNA is showing up in my DNA. And so, I mean, that just leads me to believe that. We've got to come from the same line for all of this to show up in here. There's like 27 segments. I mean, to me, that's amazing. And he's like 4,000 years ago. And I still have this man's DNA. I mean, wow, So, it's got to be him or his parents or something, And there's even more stuff that's, amazing to me. There's even someone who's got, I share even more with. But anyway, we'll go to the next person. Okay, this is the next person, and this is someone from Denisova, Siberia. Okay. So this is what we share. Okay. I think it's like 2 segments. Yeah, 2 shared segments. So I've got 2 pieces of this person's DNA, and I think they're like, was it 30 years ago? Let me see. 30,000 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. 903. Let me look and see if I can find it. Where's that at? Denisova. Yeah, 30,000 years ago. Okay. All right. And I have pieces of this person's DNA. Okay. Then there's the next person. Okay. And I share 6 segments with this person, and they are from Siberia as well, from Altai, North Siberia, and that's 50,000 years ago. Okay, so wow, and I still have pieces of this person in me. So how amazing is that? So that's got to be like, it's way on back, but I still have pieces of it. So yeah, okay. And then, let's see, who else was it? There was somebody else right here. Oh, my goodness, okay. This baby, which I've mentioned this in another video, from Clovis, Montana. So this is a Native American baby, okay, that they found, okay. This is from 12,500 years ago, okay. So I share like 300, let me go down here. I think it's like 300, 305 segments of DNA with this baby. So I know I can't come from the baby itself, So in my opinion, it must have been like the baby's parents or something like that. So they could be like maybe my, 300 to 400th great-grandparents or something like that. But again, I'm no scientist, only a scientist would know what this really means. But, come on, this many pieces all scattered out in my chromosomes. And this is autosomal. This is not mitochondrial, haplogroup, anything like that. This is all in my DNA. Like all my different segments or all my different chromosomes. This is in there. And this stuff, it controls things. It controls, things like your hair, your eyes, your brain, your heart, you know what I mean? Like, even though it might look like small pieces, but it has so much control in different areas. You know, there could be like some kind of genetic defect or some kind of genetic, I don't know, maybe something that's good that a person could discover that they got from these people, because I know how some people are, there's some folks out there that, like, if they find out they're like 1% of Native American or 1% Spanish or 1% whatever, they're like, that's no big deal. I don't worry about it unless it's like 10% or more or whatever. But what they don't understand is that even these little pieces, these small percentages, but yet these little pieces that's all tangled up in their chromosomes, that can control so many things. I mean, it can control your intelligence, your finger length, your feet, so many different things this stuff can control. And, it's like they don't understand how important to me that this is. I mean, but, I mean, to each their own. Everybody's going to feel the way they feel. But to me, I find this very interesting myself, and especially if you find out you've got all kinds of pieces all in your DNA, and then, like I said, you go to a company that you test with and they tell you, well, you don't have it. It's like, really? You're going to tell me I don't have Native American? I don't have, Spanish? I don't have African? I don't have any of this other stuff? I'm just British and Irish? Give me a break. I mean, really? It's silly, I think, really. So, my request to companies like Ancestry is get out there and test more people from these regions that you've left out. I mean, why not? I mean, give people something new to discover about themselves. And also, if I have, if there are any people from these areas, I mean, I don't know what would all be involved as far as getting a kit, because, I mean, kits may not be available in certain countries and certain regions. I don't know. But I think it would be cool if some of you guys out there from Greenland and from Siberia, if you would test and see maybe if we're kin. I think it'd be cool to, discover all these cousins and stuff that I never knew I had from these countries. Even if it's like eighth cousins or whatever, I still think that would be cool. It would help me realize that, yes, I do indeed have this in me. I mean, I can see it on GEDmatch, but it would just be nice to see it confirmed on Ancestry.com as well, And again, some of this stuff does show up in other companies like 23andMe and Helix and Nat Geo and MyHeritage and whatever. Even if some of it shows up here and just some of it shows up there, that's little pieces here and there that says, okay, I have this in me. If it's showing up in a few different places, I know I have it. So, but I just really wish Ancestry would do a better job and, just give people the truth, show people what they really have and include regions that you're leaving out. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. So I hope everyone is doing well. Bye.